It's late at night and you're sitting on your couch enjoying a scary movie, or at least trying not to jump out of your skin at every big scare. The dark shadows seem to press in all around you this late at night, and you think you see something move outside the window from the corner of your eye. Probably just your eyes playing tricks on you. But then suddenly your phone rings. Confused, you look at your phone, not sure who could be calling you, but also kind of annoyed because, seriously, who even calls on a phone anymore? You ignore the call and let it go to voicemail. But then your phone lights up with a text, and the question, do you like scary movies? Well, you think to yourself, that's a pretty self-explanatory question given what you're watching right now. But then another text comes in, simply saying, I can see you. With a chill running down your spine, you look up and there he is, the legendary hacker and slasher Ghostface, standing in front of your window with his signature hunting knife in hand. So you're being stalked by a deranged maniac who takes his inspiration from an Edvard Munch painting and loves nothing more than killing high school and college students. How are you going to win this fight to the death? Ghostface, as mentioned, got his name from the rubber Halloween mask he wears, which itself is inspired by the Edvard Munch painting The Scream. He enjoys nothing more than calling his victims over the phone and then taunting them, letting them know that he's always close by and reveling in their fear. He's even been known to subject victims to a terrible game of horror movie trivia, and if they get an answer wrong, it's typically lights out for someone they love. Originally, Ghostface was in fact two separate individuals who sought revenge on a teen girl because her mother had an affair with one of the two's father and drove his mother away. Not long after the original slasher duo, a second duo took up the identity of Ghostface again, this time the mother of one of the previous killers and a university student who sought the fame of being Ghostface. Eventually though, the two killers have a falling out, leading to one shooting the other and giving the heroes an opportunity to escape and ultimately prevail. Ghostface would return 2 more times though, and each time the killers are always someone unexpected and typically end up trying to murder each other. As far as powers go, Ghostface has had so many identities that the killer has no set skills or abilities to pin down. Ghostface is ultimately just a very deranged person in a mask, so this time there's no supernatural threats or abilities to contend with, which is kind of nice after us putting you up against all sorts of monsters, aliens, and other super baddies. However, the one thing all the Ghostface killers share is an appetite for violence and an unmatched savagery. Ghostface does not hesitate to kill, and in a way, such willingness to commit violence is a superpower all its own. Also, Ghostface is pretty stealthy, and not only is he or she able to hide in plain sight while not wearing the mask, but while stalking prey, Ghostface is always extremely sneaky and very talented at finding places to ambush victims from. The greatest threat Ghostface brings though is the fact that typically Ghostface is the person you would least expect, and the fact that there's always 2 of them. This allows them to attack each other and throw off suspicion by the rest of the group, until ultimately it's too late. Also, given the fact that there's always 2 Ghostfaces, you're pretty much going into a 2-on-1 fight this time. For weaknesses, well, Ghostface is pretty much just an average person, so anything that will harm or kill a normal person will do Ghostface in. Ghostface's biggest weakness, however, is the fact that given enough time, the 2 killers who play the role will always turn on each other. So if you can survive long enough, the duo Ghostfaces will eventually do half your job for you as one kills the other. So you're 1-on-2 against the late 90s hacking and slashing duo. How are you going to win this fight? First, you need to take inventory of your social life. Who have you accidentally upset in your recent past? Has your mother had an affair with anyone in the last year or 2? Did you suddenly encounter a huge murder and/or horror movie buff who is full of trivia about every horror movie franchise in the world? We hate to break it to you, but one of the 2 behind Ghostface's identity is always going to be someone close to you, and the other is typically a complete stranger that suddenly and very conveniently becomes a part of your life. You're going to want to take some tips from the CIA and their counterintelligence experts and start to pay very close attention to the people around you. Watch them carefully and look for subtle changes in their personality, which might indicate they're holding back the mental stress of being a secret killer. The CIA's best spy hunters in the world are renowned for their ability to sniff spies out by meticulously learning every single nuance of a suspect's life, and then sitting back and carefully observing them over a period of time. People are creatures of habit, and being a double agent can put a lot of mental stress on an individual, and this stress can make itself manifest in frustrating or scary moments. So, who around you has suddenly changed? Even just minor habits. Did your best friend used to chew their nails and now they've suddenly stopped? Could be Ghostface. Your sister go on a diet so she can enjoy her hot girl summer? Fat chance she's probably a killer. Your cousin get diagnosed with liver disease and now he has to change their entire lifestyle so their liver doesn't die? Nice try, but he or she is probably just covering up for the fact that they're secretly trying to murder you. We realize this is starting to border on paranoia, but seriously, Ghostface could be anybody close to you, and until the stabbing starts, there's typically no way of finding out. The first thing you're going to do is get yourself somewhere secure. Ghostface is going to start picking off some of your friends, so decide which of your friends you really like and which are expendable. And then those that you really like and you are going to hide out in a secure location. An in-home panic room is a great choice, as the doors are bulletproof and typically resistant to explosions as well, and can safely accommodate you for days at a time if need be. Spending a few days in your own panic room with your friend worth saving will give Ghostface an opportunity to work through the mandatory murders of secondary characters before getting to the main character, you. And listen, we know you should try and save all your friends, but like we said, Ghostface needs time to work through killing off secondary characters. It's just the rules of the game. So get it together and decide which friends are absolutely worth keeping around, because you're going to have to sacrifice a few. The ultimate point of letting Ghostface run around terrorizing your sacrificial friends is because eventually and very inevitably, one Ghostface will turn on the other. Seriously, it always happens and is totally predictable, so just sit tight, make plans to attend a few funerals, and let Ghostface do half of your job for you. Once the second Ghostface is dead though, it's now time to go mano a mano. So no more hiding in your panic room. Also, you really should leave because the toilet facilities in these things tend to back up pretty quickly. So now it's you and the one remaining Ghostface. At this point, you need to brace yourself because inevitably this Ghostface will pull off their mask and launch into a miniature monologue as they reveal that they're your long-lost half-brother or cousin or whatever. And they totally want to kill you because of something you or one of your parents inadvertently did a long time ago. We know it's tedious, but you gotta sit through it again. Them's the rules. Once our monologue is over though, it's finally time for the final showdown. Ghostface is going to come full speed at you and try to get all stabby. Surprise for him or her though, because unlike every victim in the Scream franchise, you've been preparing for the killer who keeps stalking you. Down and under your clothes, you're wearing a second chance vest. These are tactical armored vests which are rated to protect the wearer from small caliber firearms and were quite popular with police forces until more durable and better protected body armor came along. They got their name because of the second chance at life that they gave you, which also hinted at the fact that you really shouldn't be trying to stop more than one bullet with these things. In this case though, all you need to stop is a knife, and that's something a second chance vest can easily do. Ranging around $500, you can pick up one of these bad boys from just about any online survival retailer. Plus, because they're so thin, you can easily wear one under a sweatshirt and not give it away. Imagine the dumb look on Ghostface's, well, face when they stab down and their knife gets stuck on your armored vest. At this point, taking down Ghostface is as easy as zapping him or her with your Stun Master Runt. At just $15, this bad boy packs 20 million volts and can easily be concealed up your sleeve thanks to a handy wrist loop. With 20 million volts of electricity coursing through Ghostface's body, the famous serial killer is going to start dancing the electric boogaloo, and you've got your hand on the switch. Just try and make sure Ghostface isn't touching the metal of the knife, or there's a good chance that even through the vest, you're going to be sharing in some of that nasty voltage yourself. You did it! You defeated Ghostface! Now all you have to do is wait a few years for a second duo of killers to come after you because your life is now a mediocre 90s movie franchise that refuses to die. How would you take out Ghostface? What other epic matchups do you want to see? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to share this video with your friend worth saving. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more great content.